We'll get started. Statements followed by questions for players first only.
Disappointing middle quarters for us tonight against giving up 56 points in those middle quarters really just put us on our heels. It was a defensive night that, it's just really frustrating that they shot over 50%, over 43% from the arc, had their second highest point total of the year, and just frustrating. Didn't execute very many things that we wanted to do defensively, and really don't have a lot of answers why we couldn't get some of that done. These two continue to play hard, tried to put us on their back offensively, made 14 of our 29 field goals. They were both, between the two of them, 14 of 28. So we were efficient with these guys. We just didn't have enough help. And certainly it started at the defensive end.
Questions for players only. We'll start with Rashawn.
Hey, Rickea. Sticking back or with the defense, coach was just talking about, I think on a positive, the strides you've shown as a help side defender have been imminent these last few games or so. What have you seen? Does that come from watching film, or is that more instinctual? How have you sort of developed that way?
I mean, some of it is film, some of it is Curt saying on me about it. In a game, I could be across the court and all I hear is flow, flow, flow. So to make sure that I don't keep hearing that, I just get there.
You said flow is what he says to you?
Flow, cleanse, flow, everything you can think of.
Nice. Thank you.
Infinity.
Hey, DJ from Infinity TV. This question is for Rickea. Tonight you had 3 blocks. So can you talk a little bit about your defensive spark playing against the Chicago Sky tonight?
I don't think it's just against them. I feel like every game, I try to make strides on the defensive end. I tried to cleanse to the ball more. I know they got quick guards, so I wanted to be in help for my teammates just in case they got blown by. This team, their guards doesn't really give a lot of shot fakes, so I just knew like once they pick the ball up, I can kind of just time their blocks. And that just came from like watching films and things like that.
And this question for Rickea as well. Like, can you give your thoughts on just players, when they see you and then they want to, they just want to really compete. You can tell I'm not saying necessarily they're taking it personal, but, you can tell they kind of want to go at you out of respect. Is that something that you've been noticing these past, really all season?
I mean, the other game, like Coach Curt was just like, you earned this attention on the offensive end. So, I mean, it's cute, I guess. I mean, I don't know, like they take it personal. I think I like it, like I don't want no one to just take it easy on me, challenge my defense a little bit, especially when they're going hard at me and I feel like I stayed in front of them, like one-on-one. I feel proud of myself. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's cute.
Jackie.
Hey, Jackie with Jackie Ray TV. Dearica, this one is for you. Obviously, when things get frustrating, as a leader on the team, especially at halftime, we see the chemistry continue to grow between all of you. But is there a halftime speech that you give to try to make adjustments so these young players can go out there and see the game and the floor a little differently?
No. Coach gets on me about it. He wants me to give halftime speeches, and that's just something I'm trying to find in my leadership because it's not instinctual for me. I don't discipline my kids like that, so I don't. It's a learning curve that I'm gonna have to find in the off season, to bring back to this team. But just try to reemphasize the things we are doing well, and then I'll talk about what we aren't doing well, but I'm not really giving any speeches.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
We'll head to questions for Curt. Infinity.
This is DJ from Infinity TV. It seems like in the second half, the team almost came out as a different team. Did you have a moment where you kind of pinpointed where you noticed that the tide changed in the game?
It was frustrating after a 29-point quarter and most of the halftime, talking about defense and where we are having slippage in what our coverages were trying to be, that we didn't get a stop, for the first 4 or 5 minutes of that third quarter. So that 56 points in those middle quarters for them, probably rivals the highest 2 consecutive quarters that they've had all year offensively. So it's just really frustrating that we could not bear down and get stops tonight individually or as a team. Again, we just would keep reminding them of what we were trying to do, and we weren't accomplishing it. And I don't know if it's a lack of focus. They were tired. They let any offensive stuff affect the way they play defense, but we have to be better defensively than we were tonight.
Coach, can you talk about just what did you see? Like, you seemed like the first half, you guys were neck and neck, and can you elaborate on just what did you see the switch?
Yeah, I just, again, Carter's dynamic and can play make. But, there's lots of attention to Reese and Cardoza and trying to give congestion and help in the paint around them and try to keep them off the glass. But when you supplement, Rachel going 3 for 3 from the arc, we knew that there is a coaching tendency, a X and O tendency of that team out of ATOs, out of timeouts, or out of situations when Rachel gets in. Almost all the plays are run for her, and our players knew that. And sure enough, they ran a play where we had slippage in how we wanted to guard it, and Rachel got a 3. It's those kind of things that happen within the game. Things that we were doing within the game that the average spectator won't know what we were trying to accomplish or what we had talked about. And those things happening, those really affected us tonight, not only in the game, but emotionally, because they all knew when it was happening that we've talked about it, and it was a key and it was important for us. And so when those things consistently happen tonight, on things that we were looking for and anticipating and knowing that were coming at us, still hurt us tonight, it's almost deflating emotionally. And so, I haven't felt like this in a long time with this group, that they knew so much about what was going to happen, and they just couldn't stop it. Was just a frustrating night for all of us.
Rashawn?
Hey, Coach, it's one thing to be facing a team that's dropped, that's riding a losing streak, but then also, like, there's a heightened sense of urgency with them trying to hold on to a playoff spot as well. What can be learned facing a team like that, playing with that type of urgency for a young squad like yours?
Yeah, I mean, we have honest talk, we talk about it with this group about like how important a game is for someone, and what kind of emotion and the energy that you're going to need to match or exceed, especially on the road. And you just got to keep talking about it, but until it's like you don't want to be a staff that says, I told you, like we told you, hey, we talked about what Kennedy has all over social media and how important this stretch was and how important tonight was. But they have to feel it and live it. And if they're not responding to just the talk about it, they have to be able to respond after they feel it. And was it a game that their Chicago's want to was higher than ours? That's frustrating at this level. Every game, everybody should have great want to.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Jackie?
Hey, Coach, kind of to piggyback on that, we've talked about this all season, where they're not playing the full 4 quarters, and sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's fatigue. Is that something that you can really coach them through, given that this is a young team, or is this something that they just have to go through and experience and get to the other side?
Yeah, they got to experience it, and we got to coach them through it, and there's different ways. Sometimes you're trying to drag it out of them, and you're harder on them, and you're demanding, and there's that tack. Then there's the encouragement side. Then there's kind of things where you don't address every little thing. And you hope that the veterans are talking to each other, like you mentioned, someone mentioned in halftime, before the coaches even walk in there, that there's some ownership in that locker room. Again, we've had a revolving door with point guards. We have Leja and Ari not playing. Now, both Odyssey and Crystal have been with us in long enough and are on rest of season contracts, but it's asking a lot of them that haven't been here very long, to really be the leaders. We have some veterans in the post group. We have some veterans that have been in really good locker rooms around this league that, again, we're asking them to take on a role, that's an enhanced role than maybe what they've been in the past years, and really trying to help them, with that leadership, help them with that voice that, is so important, because it just can't always be the coaches. So, again, tonight was frustrating, like we've lost games and, I can find a lot of positives, a lot of games, but tonight, that 92 points in the defense of what we really were trying to accomplish is disappointing.
Last question, Ray.
Hey, Coach, Stream right from the Sporting Tribune. The Sparks have been eliminated from a playoff contention. Is there going to be any changes going forward? And also, did you just say Odyssey's on the rest of your contract?
I guess not, right? She's on the third day. Second or third 7 day. She's on her third 7 day, Ray. Sorry, I misspoke that way.
No problem.
What were you saying? Changes, again, we're just going to keep exploring, obviously, giving people looks that give us the best chance to win. But honestly, it's, you got to play people that continue to earn minutes. Thank you.